the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the New York Knicks. For New York, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And looking at the Knicks, they play in the league's biggest market, of course, New York City. Shaq, is that a help or is it a hindrance these days?
You know, playing in the big city used to matter more to free agents. Now, with the harsher luxury tax, teams can no longer outspend each other. It's crazy.
Well, you know, the New York media attention can create a lot of pressure. It can. Even when you're losing, they pay attention to you. And the Knicks have been really reluctant to truly rebuild because of that, I think. And they've been settling at this mediocrity. You either have to say, I'm going for it, or you're not. And right now, they're right in the middle.
You're a New York guy. You ever wish you had played for the Knicks?
I did. I always wanted to be a Knick, always wanted to try to be a Knick, always talked to my agent about being a Knick at some point, and it never happened. And 2 championship years later, I am happy I wasn't a Knick.
Speaking of the Knick, you nicked my car in the parking lot.
I did?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. I'll wear my knickerbockers and go fix it.
We're going to turn it over to Kevin Harlan right in the nick of time.
I'm only going to charge you a nickel
to
get it fixed.
It's an interconference contest here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as the Thunder play one at home. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sideline. And the Knicks looking for a positive start here on their road trip. They're facing a lot of challenges, fellas, in this upcoming part of the schedule. They're faced with a lot of tough battles away from home.
And before the season, guys, not much was expected of this group. We heard them saying that they were going to prove the doubters wrong, but so far that has not been the case. It's been a struggle.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, guys, we know Russell Westbrook is a fearsome competitor, but he says you never know how long you'll be able to run like this or jump like this, so I go for it every time. I may look angry, but it's the only way I know. Yes, you look angry. Kevin?
Yeah, he's special, D.A., absolutely. Thanks. And a long way to go, Brent, but there are some early signs of a legitimate playoff contender, championship contender.
When we talk about that, Kevin, you and I always are leery of the fact of how many of these guys have had the experience of being scarred up in the early rounds of the playoffs, having to advance or beat a team that's proven before. Right now, there are some teams out there that are raising our eyebrows where we think they're going to have an opportunity. If they keep growing like this and they keep finding this type of consistency, they could be dangerous.
You'd like to think they're going to use those scars, as you say, from the past and motivate them even more.
Well, those are the teams who we believe can always take the next step.
Sure.
It's the young teams that are unproven, even though they're playing well, where we sometimes wonder, will they be able to maintain this kind of focus come playoff time?
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Enes Kanter is out there with Vonleh. Then it's Lee. Then there's Trey Burke. And it's Thomas in at the 3 spot. Stolen by George. And now here's George, the fast break. Oh!
No, that just happened. Guy's got some of the best hands in the league. Paul George instincts right there. Pokes that ball away.
And a terrific bit of chaos there in the replay presented by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Burke, who's coming off a 25-point game against Orlando. 13 feet away. Offensive rebound. The shot, no good. Looking at Oklahoma City, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Suns.
I mean, frustrating when missed free throws become contagious. Really the Achilles heel in that one.
Yeah, you try to put up these scoring runs, and it hurts when you all of a sudden just give away free points from the free throw line. Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
And Jeremy Grant, great genes for the game, Greg. Father was Harvey, uncle was Horace, both NBA players and stars. His brother Jarian also in the association.
Yeah, and Jeremy might be the best athletically of them all. I mean, 6'8" with that 7'3" wingspan, great bounce. If he can develop his skill to match, he'll have a long and prosperous NBA career.
Jeremy Grant just has such a great combination of athleticism and explosiveness. It's up to him to find familiar spots on the floor and do a good job of playing off his teammates to make an impact on every game that he plays.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Here's Vonleh.
Grant could be such a devastating defender down there with those long arms and athleticism to contest shots.
2 points. That one goes. 6 points for Paul George.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Some nice passing by New York here. Up top, Canner. Lee outside. 6 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You take a look at the Bucks. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, New York, 9 games back.
And right now for the Knicks, nobody was calling on them to kind of set the world on fire. But even those modest expectations have yet to be realized.
Yep, any glimmers of hope that may have been there early for them have all just disappeared at this point. It's looking more and more like a season that will not end well for this team.
Now here's Westbrook. He's coming off a 28-point game against Phoenix. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Burke with it, now defended by Adams. Now here's Burke. D right on him. Outside for Thomas. It's Vonleh atop the key. Cantor inside. He's covered by Westbrook. Count it.
And maybe that'll get them going. They need to find a rhythm.
Well, it took a while for them to earn their first 2 points, but in the NBA, things can happen quickly.
Now here's Westbrook. He's averaging just around 28.5 points a game. So many offensive skills in his toolkit.
And the mid-range jumper of Westbrook, one of the more important shots in his arsenal. When he gets to that area, the confidence grows.
George against Thomas. Back to Burke. A floater, and it's good on the layup.
And a terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
Lee against Westbrook. He kicks to Adams. Three-pointer. And it's Westbrook again missing.
You just can't find the bottom of the net right now. He's looking frustrated. This quarter has been a bit of a nightmare for him.
Now here's Burke. He's covered by Westbrook. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. It's stolen by Adams. Westbrook with it. Shoots over Burke, and Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got his second basket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Burke finds Lee. Back to Burke. Clock at 4. New York needs to get off a shot. It's Thomas outside. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. Inside, and the dunk by Grant.
That is a good option. You could throw that ball just about anywhere, even the top of the square. Jeremy Grant ripping one off.
And the dunk by Vonleh.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Yeah, they should bring out a big razor right now, Kevin. A great start, an aggressive move to show they're not going to lay down.
And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles the twine.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
And you know what? They played well, but just not well enough. And close games really test where your team is at.
Well, you can learn a lot about yourselves, and coaches can learn about the confidence in their players. So back to the drawing board, get in the gym, and look forward to the next opportunity.
Now here's Thomas. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
A little over-aggressive. He's got to dial it back if he wants to stay on the floor. 2 fouls in the first. Tough to overcome.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Noel's checked in. On defense, Oklahoma City. Westbrook with the steal. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
That lethal first step, Westbrook uses it to get an edge, and that helps draw the contact.
Well, you think back to a time when people wondered if Westbrook was too aggressive playing with KD. They said Russ was taking too many shots. No questions anymore. Westbrook is the man in OKC.
And he knocks down the first one. And for Westbrook, winning the MVP and averaging a triple-double for an entire season, Greg, how much does he have left to prove?
Well, it's all about winning. We know Russ can take over a game. We know he can make his teammates better. How much better and how far they get in the playoffs, that's the real question.
That misses, so he splits the free throws.
Well, a familiar sight. Westbrook gets his way back to the free throw line. I mean, the way he attacks his opponent, they're going to be forced to foul him time and time again.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away.
And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Knicks trail by 12. Lee kicks to Burke. And Adams sends it back.
Adams is a decent shot blocker, but relies on his position mostly, that time in the right spot.
Fades away. Robertson can't hit.
Yeah, the defense cannot afford to be that lazy. You got to be up on the shooters at all times, especially at the mid-range.
Thomas passes to Burke. And the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That is his first foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
For the Thunder, Felton comes in for Robertson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And then for New York, Hezonja, he's checked in for Lance Thomas. Hardaway comes in for Courtney Lee. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Trey Burke. Now here is Hardaway. 17 points for him last game against Orlando.
Felt like he had a sense in that game that the defense was being over-aggressive, and he tried to take advantage of that. He continually frustrated them throughout the night and got to the free throw line.
Now Mudiay, after Tim Hardaway missed from long range. Vonleh kicks to Cantor. Back to Vonleh, over Noel, and the rejection by Noel. The Thunder leading by 12. Felton goes in. Vonleh with the rebound.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
Pass to Cantor. Hezonja on the wing. Pass to Mudiay. And a little luck that time, but it drops. And so it's Felton who will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City.
What's interesting about Moutier is how cavernous the gap is between the strengths and weaknesses that he has. On the plus side, he creates shots for himself, but how many of those shots is he actually going to make? The other part about his game, though, is his distribution is pretty solid. So if he plays in the pick and roll, he can find teammates.
Patterson, he's checked in for the Thunder. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Robinson's checked in.
He might not have the long range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
And Noel kicks it over to Schroeder. Back to Noel. Passes it to Schroeder. 6 on the shot clock. The shot from the low post is good. Schroeder's got his first points of the game. Another thing about Moutier, really good on-ball defender. That marks him.
Well, a better defender when his man's in front of him and not as good at chasing guys through screens. He seems to either get bumped off route or try to take shortcuts that cost him. But offensively is where it is. He needs to just be better at decision-making and get that jump shot to be more consistent.
Now Hezonja following Patrick Patterson's three-point attempt. Hezonja with the ball. Patterson's there. And Hezonja gets it to go. Hezonja's got his second bucket tonight.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Noel finds Schroeder. Offline with his three.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe. Coaching staff high-fiving themselves there, watching that team move the ball around, doing whatever is best for the team.
Hardaway against Felton. Here's Schroeder. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Schroeder's got 5 now.
Well, Schroeder likes to drive first, now establishing the shoot-first confidence. Love watching him rise up immediately after the catch.
Now here's Moutier. He's coming off a 13-point game against Orlando. Lets it go, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. He's got 7. So it's the Thunder now. 6-point game. Schroeder kicks to Felton. To the left side wing. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. 6 to shoot. Now here's Schroeder. He's covered closely. Got a piece of it. 1:29 left to play in the first. And now here's Hezonja. He's covered by Grant.
And last year for the Knicks, a bit of a throwback offense. First in the league in 2-point attempts and second to last in the league in 3-point attempts. We'll see if the new coaching staff changes some of those numbers.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And talking about the Knicks last year, definitely one of the bigger teams in the NBA.
Interesting to look down at their scoring last year, as their top 4 scorers were either centers or forwards. And that's a little bit unusual in today's game, where most of the impact's coming from your point guard or a wing player. Not the case for the Knicks, so they're looking for some backcourt help.
And Ron Baker gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Schroeder. Sinks that one from the post. Schroeder's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Down low. From 10 feet out. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Knicks team.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
Yeah, even when it comes to matchups where it looks like one side should be the clear favorite, those brief two-game series often end 1-1.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Oklahoma City leading by 6. Kicks to Patterson. There's the pass to Noel. 26 seconds left to play here in the first. Hardaway with the steal. Now here's Moutier. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Pass to Canner. 1 second left, and it's good for 2. Now just a 4-point Thunder lead.
This is a guy who plays with a high motor and who enjoys contact. Cantor feasting inside.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Thunder lead by 4. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine. So.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And for the Thunder guys, what stands out to you so far?
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
Yeah, so that disruption is helping out because it's leading to some easy chances on the other end.
At small forward and power forward, it's George and Patterson. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Felton. And it's Noel in at the pivot spot manning the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. And the Knicks making a change here. Thomas is checked in. New York trailing. Outside Robinson to the middle. Here's Moutier. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Brent, we're seeing a number of superstars sign shorter contracts with early opt-outs. Why have we seen that trend?
Well, I think in some of those cases, the players are knowing that the opportunity for a larger cap in the successive years, they want the opportunity to maximize their earning potential. So seeing a Kevin Durant or a LeBron James sign a one-year deal or a 1+1, it gives them the opportunity to cash in a year later for the type of contract that they deserve, the maximum contract allowable.
And still trying to find his footing in the league, Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
That one drops. He ties it up.
A tremendous opportunity for David Fizdale to re-energize his coaching career. Just that short stint he had in Memphis. He's a smart guy, a ton of charisma, which of course the New York fans are going to react to, and try to rework this roster and find some talent and push forward.
With the teardrop, Baker no good. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Felton kicks it over to Schroeder. Patterson against Thomas. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so one free throw coming up. And when it came to hiring Fizdale, the Knicks went so far as to contact their former coach, Pat Riley.
Yeah, Pat, a bit of Knicks royalty with his success in the Big Apple, said this about Fizdale, that he's got a great mind, and that he'll be mentally prepared for everything New York throws at him. So a good choice for the Knicks, and we'll see how he performs in the big city.
Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Westbrook comes in for Dennis Schroeder. That free throw good from Patterson. Patrick Patterson, a veteran forward out of Kentucky, had some of his best years, Brent, playing with the Toronto Raptors.
He's a real difference maker for them, coming off the bench and being able to stretch out offensive possessions, shot the ball incredibly well, high efficiency from there. And that's why the advanced stats, I think that the general manager of Oklahoma City thought that Patterson, as an addition here, could help out their offense and give them some punch off the bench.
Here's George after New York gets the three, and it's Westbrook missing. Here's Burke. That misses off the backboard. Oklahoma City shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? George looking over the floor. That's his fourth basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start.
That's just a good-looking shot from Paul George. Gets it right into his shooting pocket and finishes it off with confidence.
Thomas with the ball, guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Outside Robinson. Here's Burke, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. Burke's got the game tied up here for the Knicks. Thunder have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Westbrook passes to Patterson. About 3 minutes played so far in this second quarter. Robinson with the block. Now here's Burke. He's covered by Westbrook. Baker passes to Burke. Comes up empty down low.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Pass to Noel. Now here's Patterson. And it's in there. Patterson's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, Patterson usually on the perimeter, this time down on the inside, doing a little bit of damage.
Baker kicks to Robinson. He can't get it to go. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And the call against Lance Thomas. That is his first foul of the game. Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. Vonleh's checked in for the Knicks. The Thunder have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Here's Westbrook, and stolen by Burke. Lee against George. A second chance effort. He lays it in. 6 points for Trey Burke.
Tremendous effort. He will not be denied on the offensive glass.
Robertson kicks to George. Adams, the pass to Westbrook. Drops in the tray. Westbrook's got 10 points in the game.
Well, Westbrook does a ton of damage at the mid-range, but when he has a three-point shot going, look out.
Passes to Vonleh. And here is Burke. They get a hand on it. Takes a 3. The offensive rebound, and it's Adams on the follow. Now it's a 5-point Oklahoma City lead.
Well, you have to put at least one body on Adams, maybe 2. With his size and relentlessness, he'll light you up on the offensive glass. Well, there are good fouls, and then there's those fouls. That's not a good one. Limits himself on defense, and he can't nearly be as physical for the rest of the period.
Now here's Burke. 6 points for him. Baker, no good. Lee against George. Over Lee. Oklahoma City keeping it alive with a new 24-second shot clock.
And Kevin, they dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
And here's Vonleh. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
The Thunder leading by 7. Right side Westbrook. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
Baker kicks to Vonleh. Dishes to Burke. Over Westbrook. Not enough on that one as it misses.
This just doesn't seem to be his night, or his team's for that matter either. And they got to pull it together here quick, or it's going to be lights out. I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed. And you look back at that 2012 finals, the Thunder lost in 5 games to the Heat. And you looked at that young talent, Durant, Westbrook, Harden, now all MVP award winners, along with Serge Ibaka, a young, talented, energetic Serge Ibaka, and it felt like that was a team that was going to rule the West for a very long time.
Now, here's George. He's coming off a 22-point game against Phoenix.
It felt like in that game, too, he was a man on a mission defensively. Finishing up with 4 steals is an impressive feat, and you can tell takes pride in that part of the game.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And they've let things get out of hand. Good time to reconvene.
They're just on the wrong end right now of a big run, and they need to plan how they're going to shift the momentum of the game.
Hezonja, he's checked in for Lee. And here we can check out the breakdown of rebounds tonight between the front court and the back court for New York.
I'll tell you what, their guards have certainly pulled their weight on the glass, helping the big secure it. It's something that coaches harp on all the time. Team rebounding has certainly been one of the positives here tonight.
And now, here's Hezonja, defended by George. And the Thunder trading away Harden in the summer of 2012, Brent unable to agree on a contract extension.
Well, OKC agreed on the contract. James Harden did not, and that's sort of the line in the sand that was drawn. And the salary cap jumping up in subsequent seasons, they just had bad timing in terms of the frugality of what they offered up to James Harden. It's a decision that we talk about a lot. It's revisionist history, but you know, at the time, it was the move that OKC made, and I can't really argue with it.
First free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. We see more and more teams looking to push the tempo. Is that just a fad, or is this going to be a long-term thing?
Well, if I can play against any defense that has no ability to set up where they want to be or have the matchups with the players they want to have, Kevin, I'm going to look to take advantage. And if that happens in the first 5-6 seconds with one pass, so be it.
Patterson, that's good.
And maybe a little disengaged in the first quarter. Ball didn't come his way. He's really provided some scoring in the second quarter of action.
Now here's Burke. 6 points for him. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his 3rd foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Grant's checked in. Cantor, he's checked in for New York. Here's Cantor. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. Well, Brent, we're seeing the Hack-a-Shack targets improve their free throw shooting. Rules changes might curb the strategy, though, going forward.
Well, it's been nice to see that NBA players have worked on a weakness of theirs, free throw shooting in particular, to be better and be somebody who can stay on the floor to impact your team's winning. We saw that last year, Andre Drummond being a prime example. The other thing, Kevin, that we've seen too is coaches having to implement strategies, not just to do the hacking, but in terms of their substitutions and who's on the floor. So interesting thought processes from both ends, but mostly go shoot some free throws, guys.
Yeah, practice.
Practice.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Andre Robertson. And a switch here also for New York. Moutier, he's checked in for Burke. And he's good on the second. And you know, Ron Baker, a guy who always seems, Brent, to be fighting for a roster spot.
Man, a walk-on in college, went undrafted, but then really had a great summer league and steadily improving his game. That's the amazing thing, that it, at his age, adds something to his game every offseason, and those instincts, both on the floor and off, have given him an opportunity in the NBA. Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
Westbrook kicks to Adams. The pass to George. Schroeder outside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
That's good from Schroeder. And with Schroeder, he said he learned how to deal with all that extra defensive attention.
And being able to stay productive when dealing with the best opposing defender goes a long way in the NBA. Schroeder also managed to cut down on his turnovers while taking on more of a playmaker role. Strong year for him offensively, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to grow as a player.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And Greg, certainly the knock on Dennis Schroeder is play on the defensive end.
Nobody questions how effective he is on offense. I just think he has a tendency to take a few too many plays off and too many chances on defense. If he wants to be viewed as a top point guard in this league, he'll need to show some consistency on the defensive end.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
To the inside, and stolen by Vonleh. Here's Moutier, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Dennis Schroeder.
That's a fearless attack for Moutier, which helps earn him a trip to the free throw line.
For New York, they have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
And he makes the first. And I'll tell you, Brent, a lot of distractions for the Knicks over the last few years.
Well, quite a number of coaching changes, obvious changes to the front office, so that means you're turning in a different direction. And some people in the Knicks organization really having a hard time just getting along with one another.
Second free throw, no good.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. Second, the Thunder.
I mean, you love their aggressiveness, not settling for one shot offensively, but really running down those loose boards and converting for extra points.
The first one falls.
And a great job from the line this quarter. They've gotten their percentage way up there.
So he gets them both.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Knicks trail by 12. Outside Hardaway. Here's Vonleh. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Pass to Canner. He kicks it to Hardaway. Shot clock at 5. The three-pointer off the mark.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Knocked away. It's stolen by Moutier. Here's Azania. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Here's a look at what's coming up for New York. On Friday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Sunday, They'll go up against the Magic in Orlando.
And for their matchup with the Celtics, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
That's good from Hazanya. The Thunder, Brent, playing with such energy, but shooting, not their strong suit.
No, one of the lower three-point percentages in the league as a team. The free throw line also last year really weird. A big-time struggle for guys who had career-low years from the free throw stripe. So tough to win big in today's game if you're not hitting threes and then not hitting the freebies.
Good on both. The Thunder last season assembling a big three of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony didn't mesh, Brent, like they had hoped. In your opinion, what went wrong?
Well, a bit of a down season in terms of the scoring for Melo, but reasons for that, just not as many opportunities and playing outside along the three-point line. The biggest damage last year was the Robertson injury. It felt like in December the OKC team started to find its stride, and Robertson going out of the lineup, there just wasn't enough of the depth on that roster to make up the difference for them defensively, and OKC never really seemed to find its footing or confidence again.
Now Moutier after the missed three from Dennis Schroeder. Moutier kicks to Vonleh, pass to Kanter, shoots over Adams. New York, no good that time either.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Schroeder, right side. The shot by George, wide open. Off target from outside.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Now Hazanya, 11 points in the game. From 12 feet out, the Thunder pull it in. Adams has got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Now here's Grant. He's got 5. Schroeder with the ball. Doesn't go for him.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And now here's Hazanya. He's guarded closely. Vonleh, the pass to Hardaway. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Hardaway has got 6 points.
He's got some growing confidence right now in the catch-and-shoot game, Hardaway Jr. Feels like he could score from anywhere.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Left side, George. To stop the drought. It's rebounded by New York. Vonleh's got 8 rebounds in this game. Here's his... Oh!
No. That just happened. If there's a skill set you like your point guard to have, that's exceptional court vision. Moutier shows it off there with that assist.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. It's the Thunder up by 5. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime. I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Some big-time action already in this one. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. Looking at the Thunder, Kenny?
Well, I love the way they're pushing the tempo, beating the defense down the floor, filling the lanes, finishing with authority, Ernie, getting to the rim and finishing hard.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
They got to get more aggressive on the glass. Over the first half, we saw them being schooled down low. You know what I'm going to say, Ernie. Barbecue chicken. If I was coach in the locker room right now, they'd be getting an earful. Extra rebounding. Effort will pay off in other ways. The energy is really where it starts. Something like that, Ernie.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. And so it's Burke who brings up the ball for New York, trailing by 5. Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. Vonleh is out there with Enes Kanter. Then it's Hezonja. Then it's Lee, and it's Burke in at the 1 spot. The shot's good from Robertson.
Well, I like watching Robertson get involved in the offense, especially when he gets down there. Nice soft touch down on the inside.
Now here's Burke. He's covered by Westbrook, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Thomas checked in for New York. Now, here's Kanter. Shot clock at 6. Thomas finds Lee, and Andre Robertson is going to pick up the foul. That is his 1st foul of the game. Now, here's Burke, guarded closer. Sweet little floater. Burke's got 8.
And a terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
And the call against Lance Thomas. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Thomas with the steal.
And great job preventing that ball from coming into the post. Might have been an easy 2 if the defense wasn't there. Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
Well, there's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose, and I love the energy on this play.
Now here's Westbrook. 12 points for him. Lets it fly from 18. That's good on the jump shot. 14 points for him.
This is going to be one of those nights. Right now, Westbrook, relentless.
And Russell Westbrook, he is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation?
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fire, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
Here's Robertson. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Shot clock at 6. Grant outside. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You take a look at the Warriors. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the 1st spot with the best record. And, of course, Oklahoma City, 5 games behind.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, they've fulfilled a lot of the promise they showed coming into the season. But they just haven't taken that next leap forward so many thought they might.
They still had enough players take positive steps forward to call this season a success. Maybe they're not at the top of the standings where they'd hope they'd be, but they're in really good position in terms of the playoff picture.
Burke can't get it to go.
I like the defensive effort. They did a good job altering the mid-range shot and then making the shooter feel a bit uneasy.
And George kicks to Grant. For the three. Up again, and it's Adams on the follow. Now it's a 7-point Thunder lead.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Now, here's Burke. 10 points for him. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Brent being disruptive, forcing turnovers, something the Knicks couldn't do last season.
Yeah, last year, 29th in the league in steals. The roster was more big than quick last year, so unable to extend some of their pressure because of the way that they played. It makes it hard to fire up some of that transition offense if you're not getting out there and getting steals.
2 shots. Last on the first.
No good on that one.
Russell Westbrook with 2 straight seasons, 2, of averaging a triple-double. This is a feat that we thought we would never see again, and Russell backed up the one campaign with another. Just remarkable stuff.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Noel's checked in, and a switcher also for New York. Robinson's checked in. And he's good on the second. And the Thunder placing so much, Brent, on Westbrook's shoulders. It's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot. I'm not sure how much Russell actually feels it. He just goes out and continues to put up just staggering, eye-popping numbers. And to get where they want to go, I think they're going to have to find a way to complement him in some way. And he's going to have to trust in those teammates in order to push the envelope a bit. He didn't need to fade back. No one in his face, but he buried it anyway.
Lee passes to Robinson. Shoots over Adams. Misses off the left iron.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Lee with the steal. The dish now to Robinson. Burke looking over the floor. 5 on the clock. Here's the floater. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assists. Robinson's got 3 assists tonight. The Thunder leading by 6. Westbrook kicks to Noel. In the corner, George with it. He scores his 6th bucket from the floor with that one. He's shot the ball 11 times.
Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Passes to Robinson. Thomas with the ball. The pass to Vonleh. Over Noel. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Good touch on that shot. Vonleh has the talent to be a threat from that kind of distance.
Here's Robertson. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. And stolen by Burke. Outside Robinson. Lee outside. 5 on the clock. Tipped away. Here's Robertson. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. So it's the Knicks now. Knicks trail by 6. Burke finds Lee. Back to Burke. Six on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, and it's Noel with the rebound.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboards.
And here is Burke. He's got 13. Pass to Thomas. Over in the corner, Lee. No good on the three.
Yeah, this has been a night where you could look at his shooting and his performance, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line.
Knicks trail by 6. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Westbrook with a wide open look. Hits the jumper in space. Westbrook's got 16 points.
Well, there are guys that stop on a dime and shoot, but Russell stops and rises up. No way to challenge him there.
New York calls timeout. And 6'7" swingman Andre Robertson out of the University of Colorado, one of the league's premier defensive specialists.
And Kevin, there's a reason he started for most of his career, and it has nothing to do with his shooting. Now returning from that ruptured patella tendon, will he regain that elite defensive form? Only time will tell.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Patterson, he's checked in for Adams. Felton comes in for George. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And so it's Felton who will bring it up for Oklahoma City. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Next up, they'll face the Suns. That'll be in Phoenix. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. Now, here's Felton, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Noel dishes to Schroeder. Over Moutier. It's hauled in by Thomas.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
Three-pointer on the way. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Robertson. Kicks to Patterson. Pass to Robertson. Patterson against Thomas. Patterson passes to Felton. Over Hardaway. Nice shot by Felton. And the Thunder lead by 10.
Oh, great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, most analytics will tell you that the mid-range jumper is not an efficient shot, but you see how effective with guys like that it can be.
Now here is Hardaway. Hazonia kicks to Robinson. New York, no good that time either. Oklahoma City leading by 10. Here's Schroeder. Here's Noel. Robinson with the block, and he gets it back. Over to the wing, and the officials call him for a 3-second violation. These are the teams that have been really dominant in the paint so far this season. Number 1, the Thunder.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
Now here's Moutier. He's guarded by Schroeder. Robinson finds Hazonia. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Robinson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Pass to Noel. He dishes it to Schroeder. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far.
Whenever Schroeder sees a hole in the defense, he is ferocious in how he exploits it.
Now, Moutier, 10 points for him. Robinson passes to Hazonia, and that one, good. Hazonia's got 18 points. Oklahoma City leading by 7. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the third. Patterson can't get it to go. Hazonia with the ball. 18 points for him. He kicks to Moutier. Hazonia, the pass to Thomas. 5 to shoot. Here's Azania. Off target from outside. For Oklahoma City, they've gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. Here's Schroeder. Got it. Good job in the low post. 15 points in the game.
The floater is such a deceptive and unguardable shot. You can understand why Schroeder elects to go with it there. Sweet looking on the dip.
Felton against Hardaway. And Raymond Felton the bucket on the assist from Robertson. And now an 11-point Thunder lead. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Now here's Hardaway. He has 6. Puts it up from 12. And it's Noel with the rebound. Nobody near Schroeder. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Well, he made 1 3 in the first half, but he hasn't found a way to connect again from outside during the second.
Felton against Hardaway. Felton with some nice D. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
18. Oh, 18. 18. Please don't try to play us.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
You know, coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. The 4 and the 5 are Grant and Noel. Felton is out there with Dennis Schroeder. And it's Robertson in at the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Schroeder outside. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Enes Kanter.
You look at the New York Knicks, desperate to compete again and get themselves back into the playoffs. Remember, 1973, their last championship year, with the likes of Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe. Maybe they could use a couple of those guys now.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And since 1973, only 2 finals appearances for the New York Knicks.
Yep, 1994, they lost to the Rockets in 7 games. And in 99, that was the lockout-shortened season. They lost to the Spurs eventually on their home court in 5 games. No finals appearances for the New York Knicks in the new millennium.
And the second free throw, good.
The potential Schroeder has is pretty exciting. Such a lightning-quick point guard.
Baker kicks to Hardaway. Back to Baker. To the middle. Here's Kanter. And Kanter throws it down.
Using some brute force to take it strong to the rack. Kanter leaving nothing to chance.
Now the pass to Noel. Inside. Back to Schroeder. Out of bounds. New York takes possession. And a quick look at how the Oklahoma City Thunder's schedule is shaping up. On Saturday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Then on Monday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Sacramento to take on the Kings.
And for that game against the Warriors, I think this squad has the confidence that they can play to their strengths against them. And even though they're going after the #1 team right now in our league, they feel they can get the W.
And here's Schroeder after Tim Hardaway made that last three-pointer. Pass to Noel. Got a piece of it. And now here's Hazonia. Tight defense on him. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. First one falls for him. A different look for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Paul George comes in for Robertson. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Raymond Felton. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for the Knicks. And so he makes both from the line. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Westbrook feeling it out a bit. Shot on the wing. It's rebounded by New York.
The human aspect of basketball. You cannot fault the shot selection. He had a clean look. You just can't make them all.
Cantor inside, Adams on him, and with that, the Thunder lead is cut down to just 3 on the basket from Enes Kanter.
Well, they left it until the fourth quarter, but finally, the run they needed to get back into this one.
Finally got themselves in the trenches. Momentum completely shifted now. We've got a tight one here in the final period. When the guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
So for the Knicks, Lee comes in for Hazonia. And it's Burke in for Hardaway.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. Knicks trail by 6. Burke, the pass to Baker. Vonleh kicks to Burke. Up top, Kanter. New York moving it around. 6 to shoot, and out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Westbrook up top, Burke covering. And Westbrook throws it down hard.
I mean, can you imagine, Kevin, your teammates being worried about your physical health with how hard it is you dunk the basketball? Whew. But that's just who he is.
Baker kicks to Kanter. Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Schroeder. Here's Kanter. And the Knicks good for 2.
Good touch on the jumper, especially from mid-range. Kanter hits a high percentage of those shots.
Grant outside. Pass to Westbrook. And the dunk by Westbrook.
With just another foray into the paint by Westbrook. There's way too much speed to keep up with him.
New York calls timeout. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
And he's in a complete groove right now. I don't think they can stop him altogether, but they at least need to make him work a little harder than he has been.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard David Fizdale talking to his team. He does not think they're giving him everything. He said they've been faster to us all night. Loose balls, rebounds, everything. We got to wake up. It's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We got to seize this game. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Just 2 to shoot, and the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. The Thunder leading by 8. Right side, George. Over Baker. Misses off the right iron.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
Now here's Burke. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Just 5 on the clock. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. Just 4 to shoot. Conley kicks to Lee. Over George.
Because of Paul George's athleticism, he can do a lot of things. He turns guys over. He blocks shots. He's got great hands. He affects a lot defensively.
And so Grant will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And he was one of many big names in free agency this past summer. Paul George, a huge part of that. But, you know, Greg, he didn't take long to make his decision.
Many expected George to maybe jump to the Lakers. Had been saying it was his dream to play in L.A. for over a year. But credit Westbrook and the Thunder. They won him over. He was one of the first signings in free agency to re-up with OKC.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Paul George in 2017-18 taking his three-point shooting to new heights. In fact, Brent, the best percentage of his career. Most makes, too.
Well, he's one of the league leaders, Kevin, every year, and just becomes so dangerous from the three-point line. He playing in that secondary offensive role in OKC, he pretty much feasted on catch-and-shoot opportunities with Westbrook having the ball. Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
Lee kicks to Cantor. Dishes it to Burke. Poked loose. Passes it to Baker. From deep. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Oklahoma City leading by 10. Schroeder surveying the floor. Grant gets a wide open look. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Knicks have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Lee kicks to Baker. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, GA? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters.
Knicks trail by 11. Now here's Lee. Kicks it to Burke. On the top of the key, and good, he nails it. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Outside Westbrook. High, arcing shot. Burke grabs the miss. Burke's got 6 rebounds in the game. The pass to Baker. lays it up and banks it in. Baker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
This is where you want the shots to come from, deep inside the paint and high percentage opportunities.
And Ron Baker gets the whistle that time. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
I don't know if you push the panic button now, but that's the 4th personal, and he needs to stay aggressive out there. So going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward.
Robertson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And New York with a change here, too. Thomas checked in for Ron Baker. The three-pointer is right on target. And that's 17 points for George.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Here's Burke. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got 14 rebounds tonight, going after.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Now here's Westbrook and George with the stuff.
Great timing there. Paul George rising up, collecting the ball, and throwing it down.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Here's Vonleh. Lee outside. Shot clock at 6. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. They get Russell Westbrook.
Well, Lee does a good job there of knifing in and understanding he was going to get the hit. There's so much to like about Courtney Lee and the consistency with which he brings his lunch pail to the job. A high-character guy, has played in some big-time games, plays with toughness, and plays very disciplined. Great guy to have on the roster.
2 shots.
That free throw from Lee is good. And since Lee entered the league, almost half of his total shots, Brent, have been from 3.
Yeah, well, that's his game. He's relied upon it to help out spacing offenses, and he takes good shots. That's what I like about Courtney Lee. Almost 40% for his career from the three-point line.
And both free throws good for Lee.
Encouraging sign there to see him knock down the free throw.
The Thunder leading by 10. Westbrook kicks to Grant. With the teardrop, the shot's good from Robertson.
You want to push Robertson further away from the basket. Inside, yeah, he's capable of scoring.
Pass to Burke. And here's Vonleh. And Andre Robertson is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Vonleh. Some solid defense from Grant.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
The shot's good from Robertson.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And it's Burke with the ball for the New York Knicks. It's a 14-point game. Thomas against George. Thomas finds Canner. Back to Thomas. Stolen by George. And here comes the break. Here's Westbrook. And finished off by Westbrook.
He's just fearless and unafraid to go up into the traffic of the defense. Westbrook takes it right to the bucket and a well-deserved trip to the line.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. Here's Burke. Pass to Vonleh. He kicks it to Thomas. And here's Canner. Defended by George. In the corner, it's Westbrook. Passes it to Robertson. Back to Westbrook. Shoots over Burke. That shot missing, so New York will take it the other way. And Thomas now, top of the key. Cantor kicks to Thomas. Now Burke shoots over Grant to stop the run. And Adams sends it back. And they get it back. Cantor's shot is off.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Now here's Grant. Back to George. But they'll get another chance. Grant outside. 5 to shoot. Second shot opportunity. That one off the back iron and out. Knicks trail by 17. To the paint. He swipes the ball away again. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
Shoots it. No good on that one. Excellent D from Cantor.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for Oklahoma City.
You know, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside. And that was working all game long.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And one of the league's top talents, game in and game out. And doing it here again in this one. A terrific night for Russell Westbrook.
And he was remarkable. Absolutely destroyed the opposition. Any matchup he had tonight, it felt like he was going to dominate.
Adams outside. Unloads from 13. Good. And the Thunder lead by 15.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans. They've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
Now here's Vonleh. And Grant sends it back.
A skilled shot blocker, Grant, coming over and is so quick off the floor. Swats that one out.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. Unable to get that one. And the Knicks with possession here. Lee with the ball. Tipped away. Kicks it to Burke. Right side, Thomas. Over George. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.